So here we are for part 2 of the Project 37 lap record attack. We're at Powerslide Motorcycles in Derby today with a GSX-8R, and it's in for the upgrades that we talked about following Cadwell the other week. If you watched part 1, you'll realise that we were, I can't believe I'm saying this, 8 seconds off the lap record, which has left me a little bit nervous about the job, if I'm honest. But we've got all the upgrades ready to bolt on the bike, and I'm sure it's going to make a big difference, ready for when we go back ahead of Suzuki Live in a couple of weeks' time. So we've got to say a big thanks to Brad Clark at Powerslide Motorcycles for jumping on board with this project and providing all the parts to get this bike up and running and try and get that lap record under our belt. So following on from our day at Cadwell Park, we've got a good list of what we're going to do to the bike today. The 3 big things: suspension, we've got some Pitubo, we've got a Pitubo set of forks and a shock to fit. We've got some racing rear sets to lift the pegs up, get our feet out of the way so we're not scraping everywhere. And thirdly, the exhaust, try and get a few more ponies out the girl. If we get a chance, we're also going to fit some discs. We've got some new brake lines, some racing brake lines and an ABS delete. So we've got Kieran on hand today. He's a mechanic here at Powerslide Motorcycles, and he's going to be on hand to basically pull this bike apart and put it back together. Can't do it on my own, so I need a man who knows what he's doing. Fucking hell. Have a look at these. First box of goodies, spider rear sets, and we can put it in race shift. So yeah, get them bolted on. Hopefully we won't be dragging these. There we go, so we are good, whatever that is higher.
That's about 6 inches, isn't it?
Yeah. So the original gear shift mechanism was down here, and that was putting it in road shift, but now we've changed it and the mechanism's on the side of the lever on these new racing rear sets. That reverses it and puts it into race shift, which is going to make things 10 times easier when we get on the track. There we go. Beautiful job. So with these rear sets as well, instead of the standard rear set setup, we've got all these different holes which basically allows us to move on that plate any position we like, to move the foot pegs backwards, forwards, up or down, just to get the rider a little bit more comfortable. But I'm hoping, we've already lifted them, what, a good inch or so. Hoping that's all we have to do. So these can come off. It's just going to save us a load more weight, and if we're changing the exhaust, there'll be a new exhaust bracket which will use these same mounting points. So it's a bit of a win-win really. Right then, Kieran, so we've got the rear sets are on. What do you reckon's the next step?
I think we should do the front end first, get these forks in and...
Do we need fairing off?
We'll get fairings off, we'll get the forks done, exhaust, and while we're doing the exhaust, we'll do the rear shock and then...
See where we're at.
See where we're at, start building back up. Like I say, if you wanted to run a steering damper on a standard fairing, you can get away with it.
Yeah.
Because there's plenty of room here.
Yeah.
In this area, so we can run.
Stupid not to have one on, really, wouldn't it?
So may as well fit that as well, and hopefully that helps you.
Yeah. I can't say I was suffering too much with like head shake on that run, but over the mountains, probably the only place where you just want that little bit of extra stability when you land and the front wheel's light. It gets a bit scatty, doesn't it?
Exactly, yeah.
But other than that, it was fairly stable. So we weren't really struggling with the brakes, especially not the discs, but we've got these Motormaster discs of 0.5mm thicker, so never going to get any warping. Should offer that little bit more braking power, so we're going to put them on anyway. So next on the list, we're going to take these standard non-adjustable forks out. They were just too soft for the aggressive track riding, so we've got standard fork legs are staying the same. We'll just change the internals to Pitubo racing suspension, so it's going to give us a bit more support. We've got the spring rate set to my weight. Obviously, the standard suspension's absolutely fine for the road rider, and when I first jumped on the bike and rode it down pit lane, it was lovely and plush and soft and everything you'd want from a road bike, but we are going after a lap record, so we need all the help we can get, and suspension is probably the key thing really, so got to be done. So we've had one leg fitted with a Pitubo internals. You can see the top cap's completely different. We've now got preload and rebound adjustment on this fork, and then the other fork will have preload and compression damping, so we can fiddle with those settings and get them right. Also, putting the kits in, you can see we've got a new fork height difference, so that gives a little bit more scope to move the geometry of the bike around, and yeah, be interesting to see how that feels. So we've got these shiny new Spider clip-ons. So basically, the standard setup, if you can see, is far too high, far too swept back for me. Perfect if you're riding on the road, but when you're at Cadwell Park, you want to be going fast, getting tucked in down the straights and in a more comfortable racy position, you need your sort of your body weight over the front of the bike. So we're going to fit these clip-ons, which, as you can see, will push our hands forward and also lower it a lot as well, so we'll be a lot more further over the front.
Right, top plate going on. Now got some new clip-ons.
Just bling, really. We don't actually need that, but it just looks cooler. If it looks cool, then it's got to be worth, what, 2-3 seconds a lap?
Yeah.
I hope. While everything's bare and open, we're going to fit a Turbo steering dampener just to add a bit of stability to the bike, especially going over the mountain when it goes a bit light. I don't really know where to fit this or what I'm doing with it, so I'm going to pass it to the expert and let you do that.
So this
so that mounts to the side of the fork leg, does it?
That goes on the fork leg, that way.
Yeah. And then that just bolts to
that plate goes in the
frame.
Just frame it, yeah.
Got it, yeah. Oh, look at this. You legend. Thank you, Brad. Thank you very much. Cheers, mate. Racer's diet. So we're just putting the front wheel back in, and I'm bloody pleased we fitted these Dunlop GP Racer 2-on-2s when we did, because the road tyres, don't get me wrong, they're all right, but when you're on a track, you need a track-inclined tyre, and that's exactly what these tyres are. They gave us loads of grip on the day, plenty of life left in it. We won't be changing it for the next outing because there's no need to, it'll keep going. So even though I can't blame the ABS on being 8 seconds off the lap record, we've got it on a bench, so it's perfect time now to blank the ABS. So what is it we're doing? We'll
take the tank off, get to the ABS pump, blank the ABS pump, fit new lines straight from the master cylinder to the calipers, front and rear.
Yeah.
And that give you better braking.
Yeah, new Hell brake lines. So we've got the discs, new brake lines, ABS delete. So basically no excuses in the braking department. So we basically removed the ABS lines from the ABS pump, and we're fitting these little blanking plugs just to cap them off. So we're just fitting the Hell brake lines, which MSS have literally got measured, cut and banged out to us next day. Hell are over in the Isle of Man, so MSS very quickly got them turned around for us. The ABS pump has been blanked with the MSS plugs. So yeah, it's all coming together. There we go. That one's yours.
Thank you.
So we've got R&G front brake lever guard, compulsory on all UK track events now. Radiator guard as well. Last time I was doing a magazine job at Cadwell, I did get a rock through the radiator. I didn't have a guard on, so 100% a must have. So the biggest change we're making today in terms of performance upgrade is without a doubt the exhaust. We're getting rid of this pretty hefty standard exhaust unit and we're fitting a spark exhaust, which isn't only going to give us better flow and a little bit more horsepower, but it's also going to save us a shed load of weight, which we definitely need. Easy. Bloody hell, that is literally night and day. That beauty. Just like that. So last but not least, we're fitting a Turbo fully adjustable racing shock to the bike. We were in need of a racing shock when we was at Cadwell last time out. So this has literally got fully adjustable rebound, high speed and low speed compression dampening. We can change the preload, we can change the ride heights. We can change the springs. It's just, yeah, everything we need to get the bike dialed in. So get that slotted in, put the road going clobber back on, and she's ready to go back in the van.
Well done.
There we go. Standard, racing, fully adjustable.
It's redder.
It's a lot redder, a lot shinier. Hopefully it's 8 seconds quicker. That's the bulk of the hard work done. It's been a full-on day. We've put some hours into it today. But we've just about got it. We've got everything done that we wanted to. The only thing we haven't got done is chain and sprockets. But the gearing wasn't actually that far off when we rode it at Cadwell the first time round. So we'll roll with that again. And if it is playing us up, because hopefully we'll be going 5 or 6 seconds a lap faster, if it starts to play us up, we can always adjust it. We've got a box of sprockets over there anyway. It's not a big job on the day. We've got nice big box of road going clobber that we don't need on the bike anymore, pillion, foot pegs and all that sort of jazz. I don't know, maybe a good 10 kilograms at least. So yeah, job well done I think. Just got to get it built back up now, get the fairings back on, the tank back on, make sure it still starts because we've had wires off and all sorts of stuff. Woohoo! Oh, she sounds a bit different with that exhaust on, doesn't it? That sounds the nuts, doesn't it? So that's all we can do for today. Just needs a good clean with some R&G product, but we can finish the day with a nice little Powerslide motorcycle sticker. So there we go. Day done here at Powerslide Motorcycles. We've got the Suzuki all tricked up, a load of upgrades done. I'm feeling pretty confident about the lap time now. I know it sounds daft, just a few little parts, but the new riding position, this exhaust sounds absolutely mega. We've got no ABS, better brake discs. It's all there for the taking. Roll on day 3 at Cadwell Park.